but I wanted to uh, just speak on one thing regarding, um, I guess, it relates with gradual and incremental growth is understanding the difference between straight rhythms and swing rhythms. Because when we incremental and gradual, we don't right off the bat fully comprehend this concept.
Okay.
But um, it's a major, it was like a major breakthrough for me when I kind of put it together. So if you have a straight rhythm, let's just say it's just here, okay, and it's um, let's just say it's like 120 beats per minute, and this is straight. And then without changing the tempo, let's say you start going like this now.
Right.
You see how like the velocity
Right.
changes,
Right.
and so there's different um, levels of exertion
Hmm.
between the straight and swing rhythms. Does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense.
And so
That sense.
um, that alone is something that we want to work up to incrementally to really understand and get the hang of and be able to move that way.
Now that you explain it that way, right? I never looked at it being any different, right? I just looked at it as being a beat. But now that you say it that way, I can see where a swing beat would have you more exhausted. I don't want to say exhausted, but it have you using more energy, right?
Yes.
Because it's at a as opposed to that straight beat. Once you get on rhythm, that you're just locked. There's
Yes.
no there's no changing in that.
Hmm.
So I get that. And I would have
Yeah.
never known that. I would have never separated the two.
Yeah, and I like to also describe is the swing rhythms. There's more exertion at, let's say, the one position. So we have our one and two. Let's again, I always bring it back to the rower because it's the simplest. You have one, two straight rhythm, and then let's go swing rhythm. One, two, one, two. Yeah.
Right,
And so
right,
it's more like
right,
cyclical
right,
as opposed to straight, but that's how you're going to speed up your pace, and
right,
you really put more force at
right,
one part of the movement. And
right.
I'll send you a video later,
So
but
that's like going from beginner to intermediate almost.
exactly, exactly. And just like in martial arts, you have your white belts all the way up to your black belts because there's
Right,
levels.
right.
And and it's I'm not saying it's as complex as that, but it's the same idea. You start to understand concepts, boom, you just went from your white belt to your blue belt because you
Right.
understand the concept of the swing rhythm.
And I think it is complex. It's just honestly, I really think it is as much as complex as that too. Because when you really start thinking about the human breath and what we're not doing with it, to introduce somebody to moving their body along with making them breathe, I think that becomes a complex system, as in how the brain works at this point. Because now it's opening up your mind. You like we spoke on our last podcast we speaking on having a sound mind, so
Mm.
the body's more intuitive at this point, you know what I mean? So I think it is a complex mechanism when you don't have the language to understand the transformations or the incremental growth or developments that you're going through. uh you need that. So I think it's complex when you don't have that information readily available and you're the one who's supplying that.
That's true. And we talk about sound mind, which is